Hey, Henry, how's it going?
Hey Serena, I'm very well. How are you?
Henry, I really enjoyed Enola Holmes. I loved getting to see her
Oh, good.
story, but I loved getting to see Sherlock in a completely different light. What did you love most about your version of him?
Well, Harry Bradbeer and I, we worked very closely on. It was important that Sherlock was a supporting character to Enola. And so for him to be a supporting character to Enola, there had to be an emotional connection there. And there's a lot of similarities between the two characters, aside from the fact that obviously Enola is a young woman. And that is a very different position in society as far as the Victorian era was concerned. And so for that story to work, we had to have that emotional connection. Otherwise, there would be too much of a cold distance. And we still have the traditional Sherlock who is the genius detective, eccentric, out there, aloof to everyone else. But with Enola, he is something entirely different. He has this wonderful mirror image of himself in the young Enola, sort of slightly wild, genius, out there character who refuses to conform. And that is kind of who Sherlock is. He has refused to conform, but he has been given a lot more leeway because of the nature of what society was. And so Harry and I really delved into my own personal experiences, my familial relationships, my hopes and my dreams, and we keyed into the emotional aspect. And during the rehearsals, in fact, the performances I gave the rehearsals were a lot more emotional. There was a far deeper depth because we were diving into Sherlock's past, Sherlock's childhood, and why he saw so much in the way of similarity between him and Enola. And instead, we pared that back a bit and we thought, let's not make it too emotional because then we depart far too much from who the character is. And so it was finding that balance between traditional Sherlock and emotional enough Sherlock so that it allows Enola a wonderful vehicle to express herself and for a character to bounce off so she can then have this opportunity to blossom into the amazing woman that she becomes.
I love that you mentioned hopes and dreams and emotions because there's so much of that running through this film and there's so many messages to come out of it. And one of the lines that I think was my all-time favorite was you have to make noise if you want to be heard. And I was thinking about your career, you missed out on came close so many times and then eventually landed the part. How did you make the noise to make sure you were heard, but also made sure that the noise of the disappointment wasn't getting in the way of you achieving your dreams?
Good question. With the disappointment stuff, it's something I've always pushed into the background. I try to leave every day behind me, the good ones and the bad ones, and focus on moving forward. We'll focus on the present. And the present, especially now since lockdown, been focusing a lot on that and actually enjoying the moment. But about making noise, it's not in my nature to be the person making noise. I'm not the person to, you know, sing my own praises from the rooftops and sort of draw the attention on myself. For me, it's always been about patience and letting my actions make the noise within certain structures or realms, whether it be playing Superman, whether it be playing The Witcher, whether it be playing Sherlock. It's just for me being patient and keep on doing the thing that I'm doing. And hopefully, people will like this version of Sherlock and they'll see that there are still more feathers to my cap to be seen.
Well, I am loving this version of Sherlock. I'm hoping we'll see more. I'm hoping this turns into a franchise. But the last question I wanted to ask you, which I'm sure you've been asked continuously, is you've just signed on for more Superman. How does it feel to know that you get to be the Man of Steel for a few more goes?
I think it best that we keep the conversation to Enola Holmes. She's the one in the spotlight, and as Sherlock today, I am supporting her.
Brilliant. Well, do you know what?